often sit and wonder how things could be this way. I guess we'd better tell them this is a brand new day. Don't leave it up to the other man or to another day. Take your life into your hands, make it work out your way. It's not the number of times you stumble down and fall upon the ground. It's the number of times you pick yourself up and keep on moving on to meet your goal. Good morning, everyone. Quentin, thank you. Sherry, thank you. Sade. This is a brand new day. Absolutely, Sade. What an incredible new day. And this is Fantastic Friday. And I like to close out the week with some information that can help take you to the next level. You know, all of our information is based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And it's available, of course, on Amazon and all the digital websites and on our own website, herbertharris.com. Also want to remind you about our home study course. Right now, as we're moving into the last portion of the year, we have, 4 more months left in the year, that the steps that we take right now to close out this year can be critical to make this our year for outrageous success, number one, and to set us up so that next year, this new year coming up in January, will be the beginning of the most incredible, outrageous, successful year we have ever had. So be sure to check out the home study course. This can be your tool to help get you there. And once again, it's on our website, www.herbertharris.com. The affirmation for today is affirmation number 8. I have control of my mind, my body, my instincts, and my emotions. I'll read it again. I have control of my mind, my body, my instincts, and my emotions. And I wanted to really use that affirmation because our topic for today is this: making good decisions. We are where we are because of the decisions we make and the actions we take. So as we move forward to complete this new year, it's critical to make decisions, right decisions, good decisions that will take us where we need to go. A very young lady approached a very, very successful, wealthy lady. And she asked the young lady asked the wealthy lady, what is the secret to success? What is the secret to creating wealth? What is the secret to creating abundance? And the lady, the very wise, very rich, very enlightened lady said, right decisions. The young lady was a little perplexed. She was expecting a little more than that. She says, right decisions? She says, well, how do you learn to make right decisions? And the wise older lady said, experience. The young lady said, wow, that's really right decisions, experience. So she says, how do you get experience then to make right decisions? And the wiser lady said, wrong decisions. So what this is really saying is in life, there are only two things to really look at it. They're either right decisions, okay, where you have a victory, or wrong decisions where you get a lesson. So in any event, it's a good thing to happen. If you don't do anything, a decision is still made. You see, one of the interesting things about decisions is that inaction is a decision. So when you're confronted with a situation in your life and you need to make a decision how to go forward, how should you handle this? Hey, Lundy, my classmate, Kenya, welcome. Wow, all the heavy hitters are with us this morning. Thank you. So this idea of making these right decisions is critical. So as we live on the river of time, when you don't make a decision, when you're confronted with a situation and you choose to do nothing, or you choose to procrastinate, the operative word of all of this conversation is choice. You choose your choices. So if you choose to do nothing when confronted with a situation, then you are on the river of time, and that river will take you wherever it wants you to go. So to create the life of your desires, to take the boat that is your life to the destination that you want to go to, it makes sense. It's essential that you make right decisions. So there are basically 4 steps in the decision-making process. Number 1, you have to decide to decide. You have to decide to make a decision. So when you're confronted with an obstacle, when you're confronted with a situation, you have to make a decision. I will take action on this situation. I will do something. So decide. Second key to making a good decision is to describe or define. So when you have a decision to make, then you must clearly define and describe what that decision is in a very simplistic fashion. I'm in my studio. The lights are on. 60 days ago, I made a decision to pay the bill. 30 days ago, I made the decision to pay the bill. Suppose I had decided not to pay the bill. Suppose I did not have the funds to pay the bill. And so therefore, lack of money forced me to make a decision not to pay the bill. That's one of the reasons to create wealth, folks. Money gives you options. When your money is funny, your options are limited. You can quote me on that. When your money is funny, your options are limited. And so let's just say 30 days ago, I made a decision not to pay the light bill. So now I described it. I decided to do it, and I did it. The third aspect of decision making is once you make a decision, you must believe in your ability to achieve it. If you make a decision and then that decision is saddled with doubt, it won't happen. You know, the master teacher says, if you tell this mountain to be cast into the sea and doubt not, it's going to happen. So once you make a decision, you must believe in yourself and believe in the process. Otherwise, it's like not making a decision. If you constantly doubt the decision that you make, you'll never get anywhere. And then finally, the fourth key to decision making is to achieve, to take action. That everything else doesn't matter unless you take action on the decision that you have made. And as an aside, don't wonder about how. You know, many times we get so involved with trying to figure out how stuff works that we don't get anything done. There's an interesting thing. Once you make a decision, once you focus your mind, and the decision is to choose a particular desired outcome. That's all it is, really. I choose to pay my bills so that I'll have lights now. I choose to get an education so that I'll have a skill, I'll have a craft now that will take care of me, so that I'll have a level of expertise and knowledge that can take care of me and my family. So it's always about a choice of a particular outcome. Our decisions now manifest in 4 ways. They manifest in our thoughts. So once we decide we're going to pay this light bill, we're going to pay our mortgage so that we'll have a comfortable ride, so that we don't have to worry about being in the dark or our house being foreclosed. So our thoughts, our feelings. Once you make a decision, you have to feel good about yourself to execute that decision. If you make a decision and you feel inadequate, if you make a decision and you feel doubtful, feel fearful, then that undermines the decision. So whenever you make a decision, the thought that is the decision, the desired outcome, must be congruent with how you feel about yourself and how you feel about that outcome. So if you make a decision to go for it, many of us are entrepreneurs. We say, listen, I want to be wealthy. I want to create cash flow that can take care of me and my family. But if inside I feel I can't do it, one of the reasons that many people hate sales is because inside they fear failure. They hate rejection. And if you hate rejection, sales is not the business for you. But if you can overcome rejection to create the outcome you desire, sales can be one of the most lucrative professions. So your feelings. The third thing that impacts your decision is your habits. You can make a good decision. You can feel good about it, but you can have such dirty, stinking habits that you undermine your ability to execute the decision. Example, you made a decision to step up in your job to get this promotion. You feel very worthy of getting that promotion, but then you have a habit of coming in late. You have a habit of being unprepared. So a traffic jam makes you 15 minutes late. Getting up with a shirt unironed, not having your clothes laid out the night before can make you 10 minutes late. And so even though you had a good thought and good feelings about it, your habits can undermine you. And then finally, your associations. Whew, Doc. Birds of a feather flock together. And so when you are in the decision-making process and you have your thoughts, you have your feelings, you have your habits together, but if you are surrounded by negative people, if you're surrounded by unproductive people, if you're surrounded by jealous people, you will undermine your ability to get the desired results. So this idea of making right decisions is critical. The fact that you're able now to see a decision and go through this process. I'm going to give a quick overview. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be talking about this in our success mentorship class, really going in depth, but I want to cover a few points. Number one, when you have a decision, the first step is to write it down. If you don't write it down, it's like shadow boxing. You must be clear on what the decision is, what the challenge is. When we look at the story of David and Goliath, David was real clear about who the Goliath was, a big, ugly giant who was trying to kill him. So when you write it down, whatever the challenge is you have, you've literally given your psychic energy into describing it. Your subconscious mind then begins to solve it and bring about a resolution. Number two, analyze the decision. Look at it from every angle. When you analyze the decision, you write down, what can happen, what may not happen. Number three, list all of these alternative solutions. So as you write down, they analyze your decision and you write down what are the different alternatives. Well, if I don't pay my light bill, my lights can be turned off. If my lights get turned off, then I can't do my work. Well, suppose I had to choose between paying my light bill and my mortgage. And maybe the mortgage was at that situation that you can't miss. Well, is it more important to have a home and no lights or to have no home? Because if you have no home, the lights don't matter. You see the process? In other words, when you start analyzing things from all of the different aspects, we call it evaluating all of the possible outcomes, that now you're getting enough information to do the right thing, to do the best thing. Just carrying that example to the extreme. So you say, you know what? I got to keep my mortgage paid. They may turn my lights off. What am I saying? Well, I can't work in the dark, but I can go live with my friend for 3 or 4 weeks, maybe, while I get the money together to get the lights back on. But then you have to look, when you get your lights turned off, then maybe the light company now will say, now you got to put up a $300 or $400 deposit. So now it's not just a matter of paying the bill, you got to put in the deposit. The point is, when you analyze all the possible outcomes and evaluate the possible outcomes, it gives you a really, really clear picture. It really helps you say, you know what? I need to pay this light bill. Because when I look at all these different outcomes, none of them are appealing. So then that says, now, what must I do to pay my mortgage and pay my light bill, and then act accordingly. You see, once you've defined it like that, you know what you got to do. So it may break down to now, all I really need to do is to get $235. Okay, this $235 can eliminate a whole chain of events that are not pleasant. Determine if the outcome you're seeking is a selfish one. Now that's very critical because everything you do impacts other people. So if you didn't pay your lights and your lights are off and you decide to go stay with your best friend, and now you're staying at your best friend's house, not paying any bills, enjoying their hospitality, their food, wine, their drink, whatever else. That might be a very selfish situation. So you say, you know what? I wouldn't want to put my best friend through that. So that's another motivation now to go on and pay the light bill. Step 6, when you picture the consequences and begin to see all of the different results, a picture of the things that can happen when you make a particular decision. Decision A versus decision B versus decision D versus no decision at all, which is a decision. But once you see the consequences now, that can motivate you to handle it. Like, I don't want to be dependent on somebody else's good generosity. Okay? I don't want to be living in the dark. I don't want my family to be disrupted. So when you look at all these consequences, now the next step, get advice. Many times when you're clear about what the challenge is and you ask for advice, the very person you're asking for advice, now, number one, don't ask advice from a coach who's never played the game. Don't seek advice from broke people. Now, I don't mean people that are when I say broke, I mean mindset. There are many times there are a lot of folks, if you talk to many of the millionaires and people who've accomplished a lot, they'll tell you that different times in their lives, they've gone from being rich to being broke. In network marketing, I'm a network marketer. I've been with the company now for over 12 years. And one of my great teachers, one day I got very discouraged. I was building an organization and one group was really working hard, another group wasn't. And my teacher told me, he said, you know what? In order to build my organization, he had an organization of over 200,000 people. He said, I've had to rebuild 5 times. And so now when you get advice from somebody who's been there and they say, well, oh, okay, so this ain't fatal. So whatever it took me to get to this point, if I just do it all again to rebuild, I can establish myself where I want to be. Get advice. Next step, stick to your decision. Now, this is a hard one. So, when you stick to your decision, that means you have to have faith in yourself, that you've made a right decision. You have to have faith in your skill level, faith in the process, that whatever those things that you are doing to accomplish the things that you desire, you must have faith that they will work. And you must stick to it. A farmer who plants the seed of corn and checks back in 2 weeks, dig it up to see if it's growing, will never eat. And so once you've made a decision, stick to it now. Don't be bullheaded. One of the processes of taking action is to constantly monitor your progress. So if you've made a decision, you're doing it exactly the way you thought you should do it, and you're still not getting the results, which you know because you're monitoring your progress on a daily basis, then you may need to make a change. So don't stick to it if it's not working, but give it enough of a chance to work. And what you'll find is the changes are generally minor changes. Rarely when you make a decision is it absolutely wrong. When you find that you're not getting the results, the change may be, I need to step up my game. I need to put some more time into this thing. It's working, but I'm not making enough calls. It's working, but I'm not giving it enough time. And so when you evaluate your progress now, you can stick to your decision, but you can modify it now to make it work. And then finally, the last golden nugget of decision making is to get started. To put whatever decision you make into action immediately. Every decision, all the great things, the great ideas, the great possibilities don't mean anything until you put them into action. That's the secret, folks. Because once you put it into action, you have created the vibration now. Under the law of attraction, whatever the intensity of the vibration of that which you're seeking, your desires. You see, the greater your desire, the greater your ability to get results. It's real simple. When you really want something badly, there are going to be bumps in the road. There are going to be obstacles. But if your desire is strong enough, you can overcome them all. Put your decision into action immediately. Don't be undermined by procrastination, self-doubt. That once you've gone through this decision-making process, you should have confidence in yourself in the process and be able to take action to get it done. Wow. Thanks so much for sharing today. McWealthy, thank you so much for joining us. Shelley, thank you. Cool It, thanks for joining us. You know, these morning messages and my good classmate Lee, Dr. Lundy Monroe, these lessons on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m., you know, are for all of us. You know, the best teacher is the one who's teaching what he's dealing with. And all of us are always faced with the decision-making process. We get better at it by practicing it, by mastering it. One of the tenets of the Life Skill Institute is that anything you need to know to be successful, you can learn, practice, and master it. And so we can say this, that when you can make proper decisions, when you can put your mindset, when you can put your feeling nature in such a way that you're able to act on the thoughts that on the decisions and thoughts that you have, that when you can believe in yourself and act with confidence and authority, nothing is impossible. You can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do. You can have whatever you want to have. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. So it is. Those of you who are watching, please share this broadcast with at least 3 other people. Love to have your comments and your thoughts on how you've been able to overcome things, how you've been able to transform your lives. I'd love to hear from some of you. Hear about the challenges, questions you may have that are about things that are keeping you from going where you want to go, keeping you from being the person you want to be. Please direct message me here on Instagram or email me, Herbert@herbertharris.com. I'd like to learn how you're overcoming great things, how you're overcoming challenges to fly. Thank you so much, Kenya. Kenya is my favorite personal development, personal trainer. I watch your videos, Kenya. I'm working on my FUPA, buddy. Anyway, folks, be sure to go to our website, www.herbertharris.com. My Cash App is $HerbieMan, $HerbieMan. My Cash App is $HerbieMan, HerbieMan. Thanks so much, and I welcome all. You know, money is a great motivator. I love it. So thanks so much, Kenya. And any of you listening, send money. I love it. Herbie, $HerbieMan, HerbieMan. So now let's remember this. You can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have whatever you want to have, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Let these troubled days be done. All right, folks, we'll see you Saturday morning. Tomorrow morning, we'll be right here at 8 o'clock where we go in with our Success Mentorship class. Have a great, magnificent day, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is.